Well, if you are ready, you can do presentation. Your time is 15 minutes, including question and answer session. Okay, please start.
Okay, thank you, Jaja. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me to introduce myself. My name is Olivia Sofiayanti. I am from Sumatera Province. Okay, judges. I will perform my presentation about case review. The client initial Miss A. The medical diagnosis is true. Client general description. The client initial is Miss A. She is 60 years old. The client said had uncontrolled hypertension for 20 years. Client got a stroke 3 years ago. The client's left side was paralyzed, had motoric aphasia and difficult for swallowing. The client said she has done several physical rehabilitation for her condition, but currently she still hardly left side. The client has been bedridden for the past week. The vital sign 1 month ago, the blood pressure 170 per 100 millimeters of mercury. The pulse 120 times per minute. The respiration 24 times per minute. And temperature 37 and 6 Celsius degrees. Data analysis subjective. The client initial Miss A, she is 62 years old. The client said she had uncontrolled hypertension for 20 years and she got a stroke 3 years ago. The one time per minute. The respiration 24 times per minute and temperature 37 and 6 Celsius degrees. Main health problem: impaired physical mobility, neuromuscular, of disorder, weakness. Care plan and implementation. The first task: measure the client blood pressure. Give health education about hypertension. Do not occupy bed making. The first result: measuring the client blood pressure, giving health education about hypertension, doing non-occupied bed making. The second task: help the client to mobilize, help the client to exercise range of motion. The second result: helping the client to mobilize, helping the client to exercise range of motion. Evaluation subjective. Client said that she felt comfortable. Client said that she understood about health education of hypertension. Client said that she understood about the range of motion exercise. Objective: the client was comfortable. The client was she understood about the action given. The blood pressure 120 per 80 millimeters of mercury. Analysis: the problem partially solved. Follow-up training, continue the action. Self-evaluation, time. The advantages that I have had because I master the material. With the materials that has been prepared, it makes it easier for me to take action. I also understand to the client situation. I can practice my communication and I can be more my self-confidence even.
Okay, thank you, participant number 12. Now we will begin our question and answer session. Maybe you can go back to the data analysis. Okay, now in the data analysis, you mentioned that the client blood pressure is 170/100 millimeter mercury. So what do you think about that? What does it mean?
Okay, I will answer the question for judges. The blood pressure, the morning ago, the blood pressure patient, 170 per millimeter to 100 millimeters of mercury. My the hypertension, the price of the peso, because my client, the diastole blood pressure more than 140, and diastole blood pressure more than 90 millimeters of mercury.
Okay, so what's your plan about this result? What's your plan to the client about this result? Only for the blood pressure result.
Okay, the blood pressure result, measure the client blood pressure. The result measuring the client blood pressure.
Only that, just that. Do you think 170 is it urgent or not urgent to resolve to the normal blood pressure? Blood pressure you okay.
Okay, judges. The blood pressure my patient in 120 per 80 millimeters of mercury. I will check the middle of blood pressure yesterday.
Oh, okay, maybe next question.
Okay, competitor number 12. Can you explain to us about stroke?
Okay, judges, I will answer the question from judges. Blind the notch to inspire the blood supply and block of blood vessel.
Okay. In your case, your patient is paralysis, right?
Okay. The implementation and self-plan the client, the task, measure the client blood pressure, give how education about hypertension, human appropriate that making the result measuring the client blood pressure, giving how education about hypertension, bring an appropriate that making the second part help the client to mobilize, help the client like motion, you're helping the client to mobilize and helping the client to exercise range of motion.
Okay, competitor number 12. Can you explain to us what is range of motion?
Okay, judges, I will answer the question from judges. The stress that I say judges that I have had because I master the materials with the materials that have been prepared, it makes it easier for me to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. The question is, what is range of motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, judges. The range of motion is movement the shoulders and elbow, wrist and finger.
Only movement for those parts, or you have another definition of range of motion?
Yes, there is judges.
And then what about passive and active range of motion? Can you explain to us what is active and passive range of motion?
Okay, judges, thank you. The range of motion exercise not active. They help patient the nerve and range of joints of motion exercise, the active, the meditation, self-confidence, the most confident.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you, participant number 12. That's all from us, and we will end our session. So after this, you can go back to the main room, and after that, you can leave the meeting and you can take a rest. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.